Brothers, listen up. Do not ever beg a woman to say yes to you after you must have proposed and she said no. If you should ever begin to be like, marry me because I would give you a better life, marry me because this is what I will give to you, marry me because if you don't marry me, I will just have to die. Bobby, it is better for you to die than to marry her and be in a relationship with yourself, and then you're the one marrying yourself and you are marrying you. Listen up and listen very well. If you should ever beg her to get married to you, like beg her to marry you, you will have to keep begging from that point until the relationship will eventually end, because you will beg her to take care of you, you will beg her to love you, you will beg her to be there for you, you will even beg her to give you food. But Bobby, you would also have to beg her to raise children with you. And when you are begging for everything, at all times you are begging, in little things you are begging, in big things you are begging, why are you not in a relationship? You should be happy in the relationship. Bobby, if you should ever beg any woman in this life to marry you, because if you don't get married to her, you feel like you cannot find happiness elsewhere. If you do not get married to her, if she do not get married to you, the other way around, there will be no one that you will think that we see you the way you ought to be seen, love you the way you ought to be loved, care for you the way you ought to be cared for. Listen to me. Run away from anything that would ever cause you to beg a person to marry you. Ladies, also listen to me. Do not beg any man, no matter what the kind of man he is, to get married to you. Instead of you to beg a man to get married to you, love yourself and develop yourself, and get to the point whereby men will have to line up, and then you make a choosing of your own self. Because if you should beg him to marry you, he will not love you. He will still go out there in the street and look for other people that he thinks that he loves. He will not spend time with you. He will not give you necessary care and attention. He will think that you are just there because you caused the relationship to happen. If you start seeing yourself as an asset, not as a liability, as a man, if your thinking is giving you liability thinking, but then you're not seeing yourself that you want it. As a woman, if your thinking is giving you like liability thinking, you don't even know who you are, you don't know what you can become, you don't know the extent that you can go in developing yourself. You always be at the point whereby you beg people to marry you. The ever you start begging people to marry you, the never your happiness will ever get to you. So begging people to marry you, it is off it. And if you should ever beg people to marry you, or you've begged a person to marry you already, and maybe they're not treating you like a piece of trash, a sample, what to do is no problem. All you've got to do is, first of all, begin to love yourself. And as you begin to love yourself, endeavor, put all of your interest, first of all, in loving God. Because if you love God, you can see the roadmap to loving yourself. And as you love yourself and you love God, God directs you to self-development, giving you the kind of asset thinking, in knowing who you are, in getting to places where you ought to get to, regardless of what you've gotten yourself into. Begging a man to marry you is not just it. Begging a woman to say yes to you is something that must never be done, no matter who she is, no matter the beauty, no matter the class, no matter the background, and no matter what it is that you think that she will offer you, if ever.